Good afternoon, Mr. Moorhead. Welcome back to ACB News interview. First of all, congratulations on securing approval by the Chinese government for Zijin Mining's investment in Xanadu.
Thank you very much for having me, Hannah. I appreciate it. And yes, we're very pleased that PRC approval has come through for Zijin, which paves the way to start our partnership and to get the project moving.
Can you please detail the agreement framework that will ensure efficient cooperation between Xanadu and Zijin?
Sure, a lot of work's gone into that.
Of course.
50-50 joint ventures before, so many learnings. For starters, the joint venture is at our Singapore holding company level. So the board of Wheaton Metals will comprise of two Zijin reps and two Xanadu reps, and will be chaired by myself. So under the structure of the deal, Zijin will become Xanadu's largest shareholder by taking 19.9% of the company at 4 cents a share. With that investment, Zijin get a nominee on the board, and that person will join the board imminently. And we have a visit to Mongolia next month, and that person will be on that trip. So we have a person on the Xanadu board. The second part of the deal is $35 million US goes into the project to form the Wheaton Metals Kharmagtai joint venture. And as I said, that's the Singaporean company, and we'll have a joint venture committee composed of the Wheaton Metals board. And then at a JV level, we have an owners team and a project management office set up in Ulaanbaatar. For the period of the PFS, the first 18 months or so, Xanadu will be the operator and the general manager of that project. One of my people will be that general manager, and we have most of the members of the team in place now. Also on that team will be the deputy general manager, who is a Zijin nominee, who I believe is a chemical engineer who has a lot of Mongolian experience. So we welcome that person to the team. So we have representatives from both sides, from the parent company all the way down to the JV owners team. And importantly, at the start of the project, we fleshed out the budget scope and schedule for the pre-feasibility study and had that largely pre-agreed as part of the deal. So all the big substantive discussions have happened.
That's wonderful. So how might Xanadu Mines as a corporation benefit from the rapid development of global electric vehicles? Do you believe Zijin Mining's investment in Xanadu is related to this thematic? And if so, in what ways could the partnership be leveraged for this?
I think Zijin clearly have a mandate to secure critical minerals around the globe, and last year we saw them do in excess of $4 billion worth of mergers and acquisitions, where they've secured not only copper but lithium and other critical minerals around the world. So they've become a very large player in the global critical minerals space, and I think that their relationship and deal with us is part of that journey to secure critical minerals. And of course, the world is heading for a structural deficit in copper supply, even before you factor in the increased demand from a decarbonised economy. So my understanding is over the next 2 or 3 years, as the economy recovers and growth resumes, the demand for copper will outstrip supplies considerably. Electric vehicles and other decarbonisation initiatives are very resource intensive and use a lot more copper and cobalt and lithium, nickel, and it's those commodities that are targeting, and our project plays a critical role in that. So I think in terms of how we benefit from that thematic is purely in the in basic mineral economics, that we will be producing in a very ESG sustainable way a large amount of copper, and that's a commodity that the world needs. So it's added incentive to get the project developed quickly.
Thank you. How does the company ensure a win-win outcome for the company's existing and future shareholders and a new investor, Zijin Mining? What aspects in the cooperation framework do you consider are mutually beneficial for all shareholders?
I think that the simple answer to that one, Hannah, is that it's mutually beneficial for Zijin as new shareholders and the long running existing shareholders to progress the project. It's gone from a discovery of very low value to potentially an operating copper mine that could be, of quite high value. And so that everybody wins if we progress that project professionally, sustainably, and on plan. And I think that it's not just Zijin and Xanadu shareholders that win, it's also the other stakeholders. And I mean the employees, the people of Mongolia, the government of Mongolia. If you do a mining project well, then all of the shareholders, all of the stakeholders should benefit, particularly the shareholders who are putting their money at risk.
Please outline key aspects of the cooperation with Zijin Mining over the next 18 months, and what milestones will Zijin be helpful for achieving?
Listen, I welcome Zijin's participation in our PFS. A pre-feasibility study takes the project from a resource with a plan of what you could do with it to through a series of de-risking exercises that should come up with a single go-forward case, which is what you will do with the project. So you will choose the mining rate, the production route, how much copper and gold you're going to produce, how much capital and operating costs is involved. So you come out the other end with a physical and financial business case. So we're actually planning to go to the Zijin copper mine and visit the mine and their research facility to assess what they can physically bring to this. I think that, with my experience at a large Australian gold producer over many years, I've been involved in a lot of large development projects, both open cut and underground, as has Spencer Cole, our CFO. But Xanadu, the company, is really an exploration and early stage development company, whereas Zijin are a construction and operator. And I think at the right time, it would make perfect sense, early on in the next 18 months for us to lead the study with as much help as we can possibly get from Zijin. And then we'll hand it to them. Then we'll hand it to them to construct and operate, and we'll give them as much help as they're willing to accept. So I think there's good synergy between Xanadu.
Can you please provide further insights into what the Xanadu team will be ready to commence for each of the work programs?
Already we have a number of drilling rigs ready to start. So the first part of the work program will be the data acquisition phase, where we do the necessary drilling to upgrade the resource to the required level of geological certainty, where we also do collection of metallurgical samples for each ore type for subsequent met test work. We'll be doing geotechnical data acquisition to not only engineer the pit slopes and the technical detail around the pit design, but also site investigation works for major infrastructure that is necessary with a mine of this scale. We'll be doing hydrogeological studies as well. So once we have all that data, and I think we'll collect most of that data during the upcoming Mongolian summer, before it gets cold again. Through the winter, we'll be doing the study phase where we input all of that data into the various work streams and work through the choices, that we have, eliminate those we can, and take forward as I said, hopefully ending up at a single go forward case. We'll also be progressing our permits and approvals with the Mongolian government and other stakeholders, and also looking into infrastructure, concentrate marketing, logistics, and all of those type of issues. So you would hope to have most of the answers to most of the questions by the end of the 18-month period, which is, and by definition under the JORC code, a pre-feasibility study is required to underpin an ore reserve. So an important deliverable in all this is a maiden ore reserve, which I would hope to be putting on the table about this time next year.
Thank you. So at present, the company's project mining and processing schedule is 30 years. When Zijin invests with capital, technology, and project operation advantages, could this cycle be shortened with enhanced production? What else could this deliver for the company?
Yeah, there are some significant upside opportunities that both, we can leverage off both Zijin's capabilities and our experience in the mine. For instance, the current plan is predicated on old-fashioned trucks and shovels, which most pits around the world operate on. We are going to look at electric conveying and haulage systems such as in-pit crush and convey or trolley assist. And what that does is two things. One, it reduces your mining cost potentially, but also reduces your carbon footprint and allows you to run an all-electric fleet. That also allows you to potentially mine faster or deeper. So not only could we get faster, we could get bigger. In the ore processing space, we'll be looking at a number of initiatives, and I am yet to get across the detail of Zijin's capability in this space, but we can look at coarse particle flotation, which is reducing your grind and doing a coarser flotation, which reduces the kilowatt hours per tonne of copper produced, and also reduces the amount of water per tonne of copper produced, and your cost, of course. And that also allows you to get more throughput through a fixed facility. So that's worth looking at. Bulk ore sorting is another one. There are technologies today where you can optimise the grade through the plant by rejecting low-grade material off the belt as it comes in real time. So there's lots of technologies like that. There's also a large one that we need to look at together, which is the oxidised material at the top of each open pit. The top 20 or 30 metres is currently considered waste in our financial model. Call it a $3 per tonne liability because it will not float, but it may leach. So we may be able to turn a $3 per tonne liability into a $3 per tonne asset, which is early in the mine life, and that could add significant value. So I think, I'm yet to visit and fully appreciate Zijin and its capabilities, but I am sure that they can bring a lot to it. I would say the question was, can we do it all in a shorter period of time? Yes, but I suspect this mine will go twice as long because we haven't finished drilling it yet, and it could have a 3-year underground future as well. So there's lots of exploration upside there, and I think if Zijin's bringing a big technical capability, we're bringing a big exploration capability. So I am confident between us we can make this a much more valuable project than it currently is characterised to be.
Thank you. One interesting question. If disagreements arise between the two partners during the cooperation process, how will this be managed?
Naturally, there'll be disagreements at the owners team level, and ultimately, if they can't resolve an issue, it will be escalated to the JV committee where we will decide. In the unlikely event the JV committee chaired by myself can't resolve an issue, then I would need to take it upstairs and have a conversation with Zijin. But the way it's structured, I would say 99.9% of issues can be resolved, either by the team or by myself and my opposite number in Zijin.
Last question from me. With copper and nickel mines both regarded as the new oil to reduce fossil fuel use, will the company consider entering into either the lithium or other critical minerals business in the future?
Well, copper is a critical mineral by definition, but it's a good question. We believe that Mongolia is highly prospective for other critical minerals, particularly lithium and nickel. At the moment, Xanadu is, characterised as a copper explorer in Mongolia, in the South Gobi. I think we need to broaden that mandate to critical minerals in Mongolia and the region. The volcanic belts that host the big copper deposits are also prospective for those other things. And I think Xanadu has a natural advantage over our competitors in that Andy Stewart and our geological team have extensive experience and know the rocks as well as anyone, probably better. We have established teams in country to execute programs, and we also have, through our country manager and executive director, Ganbayal and Visaran, strong political support in the country. So compared to any other Australian company, I think they're miles ahead. We love the opportunity to explore for those things. So we do have the Red Mountain project outside of Kharmagtai, and while our teams are busy advancing Kharmagtai in joint venture with Zijin, we'll be advancing Red Mountain, and we'll also be looking for some of those other critical minerals opportunities in Mongolia.
Thank you so much. This is the end of the interview. It was very nice talking with you today. Congratulations again for the approval. We look forward to getting more exciting news from Xanadu Mines. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hannah, and thank you, ACB News.
Thank you.